All right, get ready, Cadabra Valley, for the real. I'm saying the real sports talk, coming live from Flip's Barbershop from Newton, North Carolina, with your host, Dennis Lee, and co-host Danny Hips. And you know, this your man, DJ P. Free, providing the sounds for your listening pleasure. Flip's Barbershop Sports Talk. Let's go.
Episode 6. We on episode 6. Yeah, let's get ready to get it in. Welcome, folks. Welcome, folks, to Flip's Barbershop Sports Talk, episode 6. We got a big day today. First of all, we got high school football, recap of high school football this past Friday, a little bit of some college football on Saturday, and then, of course, you know, the NFL on Sunday, Danny.
Man, that's a lot, but I will tell you right now, it's hard to focus on any of that. All I can smell some Depot Deli. We want to give a shout-out to the folks from Depot Deli. We got them in the house today. We'll be spending some time talking to the owner of that establishment. As you can see on the table, you can see it, but you can't smell it. But the food that they brought is unbelievable, smelling good.
So
yeah. We'll be checking all that out later on today. But we appreciate their sponsorship, and I appreciate them dropping by today.
Yeah, it smells delicious, and I know it tastes delicious. So it's probably one of I stopped in there about a month ago, Danny, and I was over at Newsome Tires and went across the street and got me a sandwich, and I think it was called I got it right here, the cow
Catchers.
The cow catcher.
Yeah, and you look like a cow catcher.
And I tell you one thing, next to my mama's sandwich that she makes back home in Costa Rica, it's probably one of the best sandwiches I've ever ate.
It is top notch, and I will tell you, every time I've gone in there, the staff is unbelievable, accommodating. They're super polite. And I always seem to see somebody else there that I know that's in there visiting and sampling themselves. So we're glad to have them. But now, high school football, then. Big week last week.
Yeah, big week last week. Started actually conference play. So we're going to have some recap of some scores from last week's games. And actually around about 12:15, we're going to be interviewing Coach Glass from Hickory High School for his big win last Friday, a 49-28 win over East Lincoln, the defending state champs.
You know, on day one, he said he had the most athletes. I keep remembering him saying that. He had the most athletes on this football team that he's ever had. And I think it's come to fruition that they're starting to mature a little bit, and I think they're only going to get better with each passing week. But I will tell you what I found was interesting this week. It's kind of starting to show itself a little bit in some of this conference play. But there's going to be a huge battle at the top of the CVAC because there are some good football teams, some great games last week. All those were decided within a score of each other for a couple of those big games. And I will tell you, I think any given Friday night, they better play, and they better play hard because there's 2 or 3 teams out there that can knock off anybody. So I will be surprised to see if anybody runs the table in the CVAC. But we'll wait and see what happens. But there are 3 or 4 really tough teams out there, and the rest of them really aren't too bad themselves.
No, every Friday night you better be ready to buckle it up. Scores from this past Friday, like I said, Hickory 49, East Lincoln 28.
So I don't know when the last time East Lincoln lost by 20 would be, but you know, they've been full of athletes for a long time. Been several trips down to the state championship, and a really good football team and a well-coached football team, especially on the offensive end. Matt Beam does a really good job finding the right kind of plays for the athletes that he has. And I will tell you, for Hickory to go and play in that game and be so dominant, I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, it does. Another score, Maiden 36, East Burke 22.
So I think East Burke came into that undefeated also. Or maybe one loss, I don't know.
They had one loss.
Okay, yeah, one loss for that. And I will tell you that the Blue Devils had a week off before that, had a little time to work on some stuff, but pretty good performance by the Blue Devils. They've got some big stretches coming up, include this week. It'll be time to ring the bell, and it'll be a true test this week for the Blue Devils.
Yes, and that's the next game, West Lincoln 36, Bandies 28. That was a shootout.
It was a shootout, and I talked to a few Bandits fans here or there, and what I'm hearing is that they actually had some opportunities and didn't take advantage of them. But again, that's a one-score difference. But all I heard, the predominant thing that I heard was how dominating the offensive line and running game for West Lincoln is. Apparently, their running back is having a pretty good year, and they go to him early and often. So I think for the Blue Devils this week, who are facing West Lincoln, it'll be a true test on their defensive front to see if they can shut down those running lanes.
Yeah, actually, the kid that you're talking about, running back for West Lincoln, he ended up with 278 yards rushing.
I mean, that ain't too bad, dude.
No, it ain't too bad at all. Another shootout in the CVAC conference was Bunker Hill 45, Lincolnton 37.
Man, that was a defensive battle, wasn't it? I mean, I will tell you, I keep hearing all these big numbers, and it sounds like throughout the conference there was a lot of offense, but not nearly as much defense. And, you know, they say that defense wins championships, and that might be an old adage. Maybe it's whoever scores the most points or can do that. It's going to be the offensive dominant team. And I don't know, but sooner or later, somebody's going to have to come up with a defensive strategy in these games with those certain 3 to 4 big teams that are going to be the decision maker of who wins that game. Somebody's going to have to stop somebody eventually.
Yeah, I agree, Danny. And the next one is Newton 47, West Caldwell 14.
So that's a big win for Newton on the point spread. West Caldwell has struggled traditionally and still struggles this year. But the West Caldwell guys, I know that they still stay in the game. They play hard. But a good win by Newton Conover. They don't really get to make their schedule or pick their schedule. They just have to play whoever it is. And that week it was the Warriors from West Caldwell, and a good win for Newton Conover. But it will get tougher.
Yeah, it will. And Newton's playing pretty good right now. So hopefully, you know, they're getting back on track after they had some tough losses at the beginning of the season. They played some tough non-conference teams, but look like they're back on track a little bit.
That's right, and that's what preseason's all about. It's trying to find your way to adjust a few things, get the right people in the right positions, and again, when you put all those names in the hat and mix it up, every Friday night there's 3 or 4 people that we're going to be able to say, daggum, this is going to be a really good game.
Yeah, it is, Danny. Speaking of the Red Devils, a little advertisement real quick. Don't forget about the Little Red Devil Camp. September 22nd, it's coming up week, and any message, the cheer coaches over there at Newton is Coach at Kaler459@gmail.com, or you can go on the Facebook page also. So, or she said send her an email about registering.
Little Devils.
Yep, Little Red Devils.
That's right.
But I guess any little devil can go.
Yeah, or Little Angels. They can send Little Angels there too. But yeah, it's a good deal for the young ladies. They seem to like it, and I'm sure that their parents would enjoy seeing them down on the track with those varsity cheerleaders as well.
Also, don't forget, we're about a month away. First ever Flips Barbershop PS5 Madden tournament on October 21st. Saturday, October 21st is double elimination, $25 entry fee, first and second place prizes. Don't forget, about a month away, October 21st, here at Flips Barbershop PS5 Madden tournament.
Do you play that then?
Yeah, I play it.
So what team do you pick when you play?
Oh, you know, I'm always flying with them Eagles.
Oh, well, then you ain't got no chance. I'm sorry, man.
But
Come on.
I ain't as good as I used to be. I didn't play on that PS4, so my last one was on that PS3.
Hey, there's some out there that are pretty good at it. So there's some early favorites in that tournament
But,
for sure.
yeah, get registered. You can register through our Flips Barbershop Facebook page. Also, just contact myself and get registered. Like I said, we're about a month away from the PS5 Madden tournament. But Danny, what's the upcoming games in this Friday?
So I know. Let's just start off with the Maiden Blue Devils and West Lincoln. So to me, that will probably be the game of the week. I'm sure that there's some other ones that are going to be exciting, but to me, I think that's the one that I would be looking for to see how that goes. Because again, West Lincoln's demonstrated. I think they're 4-0. Is that correct?
Yes.
4-0, a strong running game. And from there, I think that they will be the ones to beat that Friday night. But the Blue Devils have a pretty solid offense themselves. But again, to me, it's going to come down to who will be able to get some stops on defense.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I just got a text message from my good friend Carlos Arias, coach of Newton High School boys soccer, and he wanted me to add that coming up next month in October, they will be doing 2 soccer camps on a Saturday. He didn't give me an exact date, but be looking out for that. They'll be doing some soccer camps on Saturday. He said he'll give me the dates later on. So next podcast we'll have the dates for them soccer camps coming up in October for Newton High School.
All right, Newton Conover High School soccer. Yep. All right, so we got Bandy's Trojans will be going up against East Burke. Dan, what do you think about that one?
Oh, that'd be a good game. Bandy's, they put up some points against West Lincoln, 28 points, and I heard, had a chance to score there at the end. They can throw the ball. And I was up there at East Burke this past Friday watching, the Maiden Blue Devils and my son play, but they don't throw much. They run it, try to run it down your throat. But so depends what defense steps up. East Burke's going to have to stop the pass, and Bandy's going to have to stop the run. So we'll see. Yeah,
Bunker Hill Bears, they're going to be going into this game this week 4-0, undefeated against the 0-4 West Caldwell Warriors. So I would be very surprised if Bunker Hill does not really dominate that game. And it's an opportunity for them to get some folks in and play in some other positions and probably rest a few people for the next week.
Yeah, the Bunker Hill should handle West Caldwell pretty soundly.
So another big game in the area, I think, will be the Newton Conover Red Devils versus Lincolnton, the Wolves. Lincolnton really had a really good game last week. I expect that this will be another game kind of like that. So there's several games in the area this Friday night. Take your pick, go out, see somebody, watch it, and give us some feedback on that. But I think that game should be also a good game. Lincoln comes up into this game. They're 0-4. But last week's showing tells me that they're getting a little better. They scored a lot of points and had a few more chances. The Red Devils come into that 2-2 and trying to keep it going here in the conference play for the CVAC.
Yeah, I think Lincolnton's record don't indicate how good they really are. They've played some tough competition.
Yeah, I would not want to sleep on them for sure.
Yeah. Well, Danny, we're going to take a little small break. When we come back, we're going to have Coach Glass from Hickory High School with us.
All right, let's do it.
All right, we'll be back on the flip side.
Deli's Depot, check it out.
Be on the phone. There's gonna be a phone interview with Coach Glass. Coach Glass, yeah. Give me another minute. Welcome back. Welcome back. Speaking of high school football, we got Coach Joe Glass from Hickory High School here talking about the recap of his game against East Lincoln. Danny's got him right there with you.
Yeah, I got you, Coach Glass. Glad to have you on the program here this morning. We appreciate you calling in for us.
I appreciate you having me.
Hey, so early on we talked about a couple of different things, and I will tell you as I scrolled through your schedule so far, not to say that any of it was easy, but I would point out that so far you've won by at least 20 points every single week, and it has to be a good feeling being off to such a good start for your Hickory Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, it's definitely great for our community and great for our kids. You know, it's just now's the part of when you've not been winning and you win some games. Now you start feeling yourself a little too much. So now we just got to make sure that we keep that same hunger and that same passion and that we've had the last 2 games.
Yeah, and one of that error traps for that same kind of thing is, your team had to be up for the hype against the East Lincoln Mustangs. They've got a pretty impressive resume over the last several years, and you had a chance to play them, and it had to be some motivation. What do you do on those nights where you're playing a team that doesn't have that same kind of resume, but you still need that same level of intensity?
I mean, the thing is once 7:30 hits, there's not a whole lot you can do. At that point in time, it's on the kids. So we have to do everything we can during practice to get the best out of it and draw the best out of them. And we as coaches can be a little bit creative when it comes to motivating them. We did some things this week in the locker room and put some pictures up and things like that in the locker room, and they weren't allowed to take them down. So our kids were a little bit ready to play because they got tired of seeing those pictures all week long. So we just got to be creative nowadays because, kids just ain't the same as they were in the 90s and 80s where they just, it didn't matter who you are, you're ready to go fight. So
yep.
Just got to be creative.
Yeah, that's right. You got to figure out what's going to touch them and motivate them for sure. So walk us through the game last week. Like I said, we can see the ending score, but tell us how that game rolled out.
Honestly, it's going to be hard for me to go back and recap it.
Yeah, it's all right.
You can moved on. I'm trying to figure out how
yeah. Well, tell us who played well and how your strategy went.
I bet we have all these game of the week people or these player of the week people. Honestly, it was a great team effort. I felt like the first series our offensive line didn't play real well. Maybe first 2 series, and they were teeing off on us, and then after that they started playing great. Brady played well. Isaiah Lackey, he had over 125 yards rushing, and at one point in time I think we ran him maybe 8, 9, 10 plays in a row. Just trying to get in our jumbo package and just trying to eat clock. Jamian made 2 unbelievable catches, and he had 7 catches for 80-some-odd yards and 3 touchdowns. Deli played well. Ellis Chapel made some clutch plays. Medley made clutch plays like he always does. Defensively, Turner Wood and Tristan played lights out at linebacker. We gave up 3 big plays. One was a missed tackle that went for a good little bit. His kid was pretty fast. And then we busted coverage on a scramble drill, and then they got us on like a flea flicker reverse. There's 3 scores right there that were just big time plays that we still should have been there to make the play. And then the secondary we played pretty good. Outside linebackers played well. But Tyvon Gwynn played unbelievable at defensive line. That he and Turner and Tristan were probably our 3 standout defensive guys. Medley had a lot of tackles in there too. So. Like I said, overall it was a team effort. I pretty much named the whole team. So it was.
Yeah, and that's a good problem to have, right?
Yes, sir.
When you're loaded, you're loaded. So this week it's travel down to North Lincoln against the Knights from North Lincoln. They're coming in 2-2. You and your team are undefeated 4-0. Every week it's a little bit tweak of a different offense here or there. North Lincoln's offense is a little different than most. They hide the football pretty well, and they run a lot of triple option and all those kind of things. Have y'all had teams like that already this year, or will it be an adjustment that you'll have to make?
Well, we had High Brighton. We played High Brighton, which is one of the reasons we scheduled High Brighton was to kind of see what our deficiencies were for North Lincoln. And we added Cox Mill so that we could see the team speed and everything for East Lincoln. So we did play High Brighton. They're not quite as dynamic as North Lincoln is. Coach Basil is probably one of the best football coaches ever to coach in the state of North Carolina. Does a great job. They're running all facets of the veer. So once again, it comes down to discipline and being where you're supposed to be and doing your job. So we will have our hands full. It's probably the best 2-2 team I've seen in a long time. We will definitely have our hands full, especially offensively.
Yeah, I've officiated. Yeah, I had one of their games. I think it was the second week of the season as I was officiating, and I was impressed with that offense as well. How about your health of your team, Coach? Everybody healthy? Anybody on the mend?
No, everybody's pretty healthy right now. We've got knick-knack injuries like everybody else, ankles and a little swollen LCL or a little shoulder here. I actually got one back that had been out since the first game, so. Everybody's healthy right now. Knock on wood. We don't have anything. Nobody's out right now, so we're good.
Hey, that's good. Coach, we're certainly glad to have you. I'm going to flop you back over here to Dan right quick, but just wish you continued success for you and your staff and the Hickory Red Tornadoes. I know y'all put in the work, and now you're seeing the results.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Coach, Dennis right here. Obviously we got a question of the week every week, and we actually had a sponsor, Depot Deli here, that brought us some sandwiches that's smelling really, really good right now. But our question of the week this week is, everybody go to ball games and stuff, and what's your go-to food at a ball game,
What's your
Coach?
game day food?
Like when you go to hot dog.
I'm a hot dog guy. Oh man, let me tell you, if I was on death row today and asked me what I wanted to eat, it would not be steak. It wouldn't be anything like that. Give me a hot dog with chili, slaw, and onions.
I ain't trying to sell no hot.
No question, it's gonna be a hot dog.
Yeah, I ain't trying to sell no hot dogs for nobody. But what's your favorite brand, Coach?
Favorite brand of hot dog?
Yeah.
Probably Ballpark. I ain't really that choosy. I just don't like them little pink ones.
Yeah.
I don't care. I can't do them little pink ones.
If it turns a water red, you got to go.
That man is passionate about his hot dog.
Oh, yeah. Coach Glass, man, I appreciate you always coming by and talking to us and making a call and talking to us. And hey, we're keeping up with them Hickory High Red Tornadoes. They rolling right now. So, hopefully we can talk to you next week. And I appreciate you taking a little bit of your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Hey, that's a good interview with Coach Joe Glass of the Hickory Red Tornadoes, 4-0 going into the season. Right now, they're going to be facing North Lincoln next week, and we'll talk some more high school football right after this break. We'll catch you on the flip side. So he can hear. You got to get it right here where he can hear.
Family's doing well. Wife just had a birthday. The boss lady. That's the boss lady right there now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hi, we're back right now, back here at Flip's Barbershop with real sports talk. And on top of that, right now, we got a special guest, and it's real food talk, I think. So we have the owner of Depot Deli, which is in North Newton. It's a great place to eat. I frequent there often, and I've never had anything bad there for sure. We appreciate the owner coming out with us today. We're going to spend a little time about that. How about introducing yourself to the folks?
My name's Tito Iriarte. My wife Morgan and I, we own Depot Deli in Newton, 1148 North Main Avenue, Newton. I want to start out by thanking you guys. I want to thank my good buddy Flip for inviting me out. Flip's a real special person to me, man. That's great people. We're fortunate to have guys like him in our community and business owners that care about the community, and and want to promote local like.
Hey, we like local, and I want to ask a couple questions on that. Whenever you are looking out for your business, how much of that is local, or how much of that do you get from folks coming in? But it's really imperative to have the support of the local community.
Absolutely, we're all about supporting local, and when my wife and I started this thing, we wanted to do our best to support local. We get our beef and pork. We get it from our good buddy Aaron Bergen at the Farmer's Freezer.
Yeah, we love Aaron Bergen.
Aaron Bergen is a
Blue Devil.
a Blue Devil.
That's right.
Shout out to my boy Aaron Bergen. He's got a lot of great things going. He owns Farmer's Freezer. It's a local farm network where they get their beef and pork here locally. It makes a difference, folks.
It does. He supports a lot of different restaurants in this area, and that's farm-fed, grain-fed beef, and
That's
it's
right.
top notch.
Right here in Mountain View. So shout out to the Farmer's Freezer, Aaron Bergen. We get our produce. We try to get our produce over here at Burton Farms. We do our best to source everything as local as possible.
Yeah, that's good. That money stays in the community that way.
That's exactly right. These big chain stores, they're not supporting ball teams. They're not your neighbors. So we try, like I said, to support local, and the quality is much better.
It is, and the other piece I like is that you took a building that was maybe left to die, and you remodeled that building. You made something beautiful out of it, and not just the food. Talk about some of the activities that you do out there, the summer series, concert series, those kind of things. Talk about some of the other things that you have going on there.
Thank you very much. That building was my wife bought it back in 2011, and it was pretty run down, and she bless her heart, she worked her butt off and got that thing up to speed, and she had a tattoo shop in there for a little while. And then and she shut that down, and then when me and her got together, we decided we want to do something. We thought to ourselves, what does Newton need? And Newton, I said, Newton needs a good place where I can get a sandwich, a cold beer, and a place where I can come let my kids and dogs run around, and we have a nice outdoor green space out there where it's a great spot for families to come and enjoy. You can bring your pet. One of the good things about this whole adventure my wife and I went on is we were able to do some fundraising and give back to the community a little bit. This is our second year of doing these fundraisers, and we did one for the backpack program, which provides food for less fortunate kids for them to take home, and we've raised in the last 2 years for the backpack program close to $10,000 worth of food and cash donations. So I'm
going to tell you one of the things that I don't like about Depot Deli. It's the only thing. The only thing I don't like is everything on the menu is so good. It is really torturing to figure out what you're going to pick to eat. I want to know your top 1 or 2, 3 sales that you get. Which one of these great sandwiches that you get here?
Man, it's a tough one. Our beef sandwiches, our Cowcatcher beef sandwich is a big seller. Like I said, we get that beef from the Farmer's Freezer, locally sourced, and it's a big one.
You ain't just saying that because that's Dan's favorite, is it?
No, I'm telling you the truth. Our steam engine Italian is huge seller. Everybody loves the Italian. We've had several people, even from up north, come down here and say it's the best Italian sandwich they've had. So our steam engine Italian is something special. If you like a good Italian sandwich, I'm telling you.
Look, I grew up as a poor, lonely little white kid, and for me, it's that fried bologna. You know which one? That's the Whistle Stop.
The Whistle Stop.
It's got that thick fried bologna on that.
Yes, sir. That thick fried bologna goes hard. And another thing that we focus on is the bread.
Yeah, fresh.
The fresh baked bread, that's a must, and we use real butter and a special blend of herbs and spices we put on there, and it's something special.
Hey, we're certainly glad to have you today. I know that we got some other guests that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a few little sports, but we certainly appreciate all the things that you do within the community and in the sports community as well. Wish you and your wife and your entire family continued successes in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. I'd like to give one more thing. On September the 30th, this month at Depot Deli, we're having a fundraiser for Wood for Warriors. That's another Aaron Bergen project. They supply free firewood to local veterans. And come on out, 6 p.m. The band's going to start. We're going to open the gates at 5. Be selling barbecue plates. We got some great music. It's for a great cause. Come out and support Wood for Warriors. Follow us on our Facebook page for all the information. And thank you guys for having me, man.
We're glad to have you, man.
I appreciate y'all.
that.
Thank you, Flip. I know you're watching, buddy. We missed you.
Hey, and let me just tell everybody out there something else. If you'd like to be on this podcast or you'd like to have your business name on this podcast, we can hook you right up. We have a lot of different advertisement options. We can put you on the flip side breaks coming to or going out of, and then we can also put you on the midsection breaks, and we can advertise, and we can work with you directly to put some videos or some other things that you'd like to have on that. Just reach out to us. We've got options and we've got packages. So right quick, we'll take another real quick break, and we'll be back with some sports talk.
Thank y'all so much.
All right, catch you on the flip side.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Mic check 1 2.
Ready. And ain't nobody want to see your picture yourself over there in the mirror. Right here, check.
Welcome back to Flip's Barbershop Sports Talk. Quick advertisement on soccer camp for Newton High School soccer camp. This and coming up October, we're gonna have 2 camps on Saturdays. We'll have the schedule next week during our podcast. Danny.
Yeah, I'm saying that's a good deal. We like to put out there for all the different sports. We talk a lot about in-season sports right now. Soccer's in, football's in. We're spending a lot of time about that, but we certainly want to spread the love to all the different folks who participate in all these sporting events, to include cheerleaders, the band, all those folks. But today, we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk a little baseball. I don't know if anybody's watching baseball. It's hard for me to watch right now. My Atlanta Braves have laid down. They won the division, so now they're in cruise control, but it's hard to watch them every night because they're basically not putting a full effort front. But we got a young man here with us today who has traveled across the world, really, to come see us, Dan. He went halfway across the world to come here to be on this podcast today, and I think you'll enjoy what we have to talk about here. So we're going to hand it off and let a few folks talk about it.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. So this is David.
Tell them who you are.
I'm Brian Scott.
There you go.
I'm an old Blue Devil myself. I went there back in, I guess I graduated in '95. So anyway, a little bit about David. He or how I run across David was I'm really good friends with the coach that he played for back in Uganda.
Uganda, remember that. He came from Uganda. That's a long way, David.
Yeah, and so we become good friends and slowly started doing some private funding and that kind of stuff and supporting that program in Luwero, Uganda. And now with ECDC and WBSC, which is a World Baseball Softball Committee. And
Keep talking. It's all right.
so through those programs, we've helped to raise some money and do things in the community over there in Uganda. So yeah, we've raised some money and we provide some equipment there in Luwero and the village and the district over there in Uganda for these kids to play. And David just happened to be a guy that was on the up and up over there, and the Pirates decided to give him a shot, and they invited me over for the celebrations because I'd been involved in that program for a long time. So in January, we went over there when the Pirates signed David on the International Signing Day, and we've just become good friends since, and I followed him through. He had a great year in the Dominican Republic, down in the Dominican Summer Leagues. His first year in professional baseball, he posted a 0 ERA over 18.2 innings, and he on the gun, he's running it up to.
Don't tell him. I want him to tell us.
All right, we'll turn it over to David right now so he can tell all about that.
David, don't you tell them how fast that is yet, because I want people to hear that number. So tell us what positions have you played?
At first, I was playing infield before scouted to come to play for the Pittsburgh Pirates. When I turned to the Pittsburgh, now I became a permanent pitcher. So my training this year with the Pittsburgh and the season 2. So I came up with during the pre-season, the spring games. I had a good starting. I first in my bullpen I got like 97.
Yep.
In the first bullpen. Then the next bullpen, I got 98. Then the first spring games, I got 98 in the game. The second game was 99. So after the spring games, I had to start the season. Starting the season, I turned up 101.
101.
Yeah, in my first game. My sliders was running 92. My
Wow.
changer going to
Sliders
around.
92 and a
Changer
fastball
91, 90.
Yeah. So no wonder you're getting so much attention. Congratulations for that. So
Thanks.
a couple things I'm curious in. So had you ever played baseball before all this started? How young were you when you started playing?
Personally, I started watching baseball or started playing baseball. It was 2014, but I knew baseball it was 2010 when I was still young. Just came. I was living near the pitch, so at first I was playing soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah, no baseball. So when I came to the beach, I saw other guys were playing baseball. So I came to a certain coach. I told him, "Oh, I want to join baseball." He told me it's okay. You can come and join. But first, just helping them to carry the equipment to the store, come and hang out with them during the practice. So 2014, I got a chance to go to play soccer for a certain school for a scholarship. So then when I turned back home, I found my coach. He was coaching my fellow guys who were playing. So I turned up and said, I'm going to play baseball right now. No more
So
soccer.
really, sports has really opened up a new world to you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, without that, it would be a lot of different things going on. Tell me, you've been in the United States now for a little while.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about the United States?
My favorite part is everyone is cool this side. Brian, the big man. So
The big man, is that what you call him?
yeah,
The big man? I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
So I got a lot of fun going to the Pittsburgh to watch the games. I got many people to work with me, so I met a lot of people. The funny thing, I got right here in the States, going to the Deli, get some good burgers.
Yeah, that food is good.
Yeah, it's really
Hey,
good.
they don't have no depot delis in Uganda, right?
No.
Not yet. Not yet. We might branch out.
Yeah.
Hey, how about the Dominican? How did you like the Dominican and the islands down there?
So far, they got a lot of talent in Dominican, so everyone's working with the players, like the staffs. They help the players to develop their talents. give them room to be free with people, associate with others. Sometimes can help you to go help the society, clean the society, trying to help train other kids in the
Yep.
society.
So what do you miss from Uganda since you've been gone?
Yes, I miss my friends, young kids I used to play with. So
Yep. But you know, the one good thing about that, David, is you can set an example that other people may want to pursue. You know, if you want something bad enough and you're willing to put the work and the energy into it, and you have some good folks helping you, it helps a lot.
yeah, the first thing I would say that's to trust yourself and trust the process, and be able to listen to people who are telling you something, so you can be able to do that, like giving respect to the coaches, understand the situation. So sometimes you may want something, but it will not come out the way you want it. So you have to give it time and trust yourself and trust the process.
Yeah, you trust that 101 fastball, and you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Dan, you got anything?
Well, yeah, I mean, this young man is obviously very talented and mature for his age. David, tell everyone how old you are.
I'm 17 years old.
And that's amazing in itself. This kid, the junior in high school, and you know he's signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, like Danny said, David, you keep staying with the positive people, and always put positive people in your life.
So if you're 17 years old and you've already signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates, can you still play high school baseball? I mean, because I know a few schools that like to have you right now. I mean, I'm just saying.
I got
We
baseball
talked-
coaches calling
Man,
me right
my
now.
phone's buzzing right now.
We talked about that a little bit. He was like, "What if I just hit? What if I just hit?" Because he can hit too. He's talented all the way around. Like I said, he had a great year in the Dominican, way beyond what he or the coach or even I think Tom, my friend that signed him, is a scout for the Pirates.
Well, David, hey, we hope you do extremely well. We wish you the best. I'm not exactly the biggest Pirates fan, but I'll pull for you. But now, if you could get to the Atlanta Braves and do something there, and especially with one of my sweet little nieces, Braylee Martin. Now, she's a Braves fan all the way. She'd get your jersey. I mean, whatever we got to do to get you down low in the South, we'll do that.
It's okay.
Okay, but I will come and watch you if you play for the Pirates. I will watch you with them.
Thanks.
All right.
Definitely. We're glad you came by and talked to us, David. We will be pulling for you. Flips Barbershop Sports Talk. We'll definitely be pulling for you and keep an eye on you. And anytime you want to come back, you're welcome back.
Yeah, the only thing I got left for you to tell you that look around this place. Every one of them jerseys, we don't just let them hang them up here for something. Every one of those jerseys are a special jersey for someone who played in something special, whether it be a Shrine Bowl game, whether it be a state championship game, whether it be for a college, whether it be for a professional football team. We'd love to have your jersey on the wall here.
It's okay. I know one day it's going to happen.
All right. I like the way you look right there. Sounds good. One day it's going to happen, Dan.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, keep eating Depot Deli. Keep eating Depot Deli.
Yeah, and bring us some with you. Hey, with that, we'll take a quick break back here in just a few, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Okay.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back.
Welcome
to Flips
back.
Barbershop Sports Talk. Danny, well, let's get going. Let's talk about Sunday
Man, that's
NFL
that's
action.
what we've been waiting on all week. Been a lot of stuff going on in the NFL. We did talk a lot of high school football here this morning, some baseball, a little bit of everything else. But the NFL right now, Dan, if you had to say one team, I'm not even going to make you say it because they're in your division. But if I had to say one team that looks like the best football team right now, and I'm only going to say it today because there's really not many those barbers around today, and I don't want to hear it like I would have to on Saturdays. I truly do, after watching the last couple of weeks, the Dallas Cowboys might be the best football team in the NFL right now.
Well, I'm not going to say that, Danny. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, I kind of thought that, but all I know is them Buccaneers are 2-0, just like the Cowboys. But we ain't nearly as talented as them. I can admit that.
Danny, I'm going to give, first of all, let's give the winner of this week's the NFL Pick'em picks this week. And the winner for this week with a free haircut or a $30 gift certificate to Dick's Cafe is Mr. Randall Turner with 3 losses. Randall Turner.
Randall Turner.
Yeah, Randall Turner.
Hey,
RT.
3 losses is pretty good. A lot of crazy stuff. We've had several big injuries in the last couple of weeks. Last night, I don't know who was watching, but it's a pretty terrible thing to see. It was Nick Chubb went out. Ooh, did you see that?
Yeah, that was awful. That was awful. I hated that for him.
Prayers lifted up for all those folks who have those kind of season-ending injuries. But who else looked good to you? Let's talk about some of those games.
Oh, man. In the AFC or NFC?
Either way.
AFC, I tell you what, Miami Dolphins is rolling.
Hey, they were on our list last week, and I think they're climbing it. And I'll say the same thing I said last week. I don't know that anybody's got any answer for Reek. Tyreek Hill creates havoc for a lot of people. And it seems to me now that the teams who are really standing out and playing good, they're a good team, but there's somebody on that team that's dominant. And like I said earlier about the Cowboys, there's a dominant human being on that team too, and he wears number 11, and nobody's got the answer for him either. So, yeah, the Miami Dolphins are pretty stout. Kansas City looked a little better with Travis Kelce, so I think they're going to be okay. They still got a little work to do. Buffalo bounced back, but how about them Bengals? They're still struggling a little bit.
0-2, and Burrow's hurt.
Yep, got a hurt calf this week. Should be interested on that. But so the Jets, I think, are going to have a tough ride and struggle without Aaron Rodgers. Their defense is pretty solid, but their offense is lacking some things there. So.
Couple of surprising 2-0 teams, Danny. Atlanta Falcons 2-0. Your Buccaneers 2-0.
Hey, we're gonna be 3-0. Dan, I know who you know we play this week. We're playing them Eagles.
Hey, battle of unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't know if we can beat you, but I mean, you know who I'm pulling for either way. But yeah, I will tell you that the Buccaneers played what I think is possibly the worst team in the NFL. And I think it's the Chicago Bears. I think they are just a hot mess, and I think they have digressed or regressed back to a worse place than they were last year. And I think they're going to have to throw in the towel, scrap the plan, and really come up with something different and new, because they are struggling in all avenues of football right now. I don't wish that on them in any way, shape, or form, but it was a hard game to watch. I'm not saying that my team is great or any better, but I will just say that was a hard game to watch. And they really have a lot of work tonight. I will tell you that the game last night for me between the Saints and the Panthers, that was a tough one for me to watch too. So a lot of teams are still struggling to find their way. Some other teams are catching on, and then there's a few out there that are standing alone, I think.
Yeah, and I tell you what, conference-wise, division-wise, the NFC East, our division, the Eagles division, is pretty strong. I mean, we had, 3 unbeaten teams in there, and then one with 1 loss. So, I mean, the Washington Commanders, 2-0.
Yeah, so I will tell you that I don't know how many people where they had him ranked, and the Commanders, really, I felt like it was slipping away from them. Then all of a sudden they went on a pretty good tear, but Sam Howell's playing good at quarterback for them, and they've struggled in a couple different areas. And I know he's a Tar Heel, and I'm a fan, but it's more than that for me. I think he's playing solid. I think their game plan is a little better defensively. I think they're one of those teams that are going to have to tighten up defensively. Now, my brother is a Commanders fan, and he swore to me this last week that every week they play, they're going to give up 30 points. I don't think that's going to happen. Of course, he does exaggerate and gets upset. But they came back and won last week and showed a little courage on that. I think they're trending up for sure.
Yeah, they definitely are, and Sam Howell's not turning the ball over. So I mean, as long as he don't turn the ball over and is consistent, I think the Commanders are going to be okay.
Yeah, the statistics around turnovers in the NFL is unbelievable, and I saw some just crazy turnovers over the weekend. I was watching a couple different teams, whatever, just slinging it, throwing it up for grabs, and I will tell you, when you do that, there's plenty of defensive backs in the NFL that will oblige you and be glad to snatch it out of the air.
Yeah, Danny, I got a couple games coming up this week. Thursday is a big-time game. The New York Giants at undefeated San Francisco, but the Giants just lost Saquon Barkley for 3 weeks. So
I will tell you that was another one of the injuries that I was kind of leaning to talk about, and I will tell you that the Giants, I think not a lot of people speak great about him, but Daniel Jones put him on his back. I thought he in that fourth quarter, in that second half, man, he did whatever it took. But I hate to see that Saquon is hurt again, and I don't know who's going to take that spot. But who are they playing then?
they play at San Fran.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a rough time for the Giants.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. 1 o'clock games, we'll go a couple of them, and then we'll get Sherrod in here to discuss the rest of the NFL games.
All right, we can do that.
But the Tennessee at Cleveland game, Cleveland had a big loss last night at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and just so you know, the Giants are like 11-point underdogs right now.
Wow.
And you're saying Tennessee at Cleveland,
Yeah.
and that's a three-point swing right there. So Cleveland's favored by 3. I know Chubb's out, but they got a pretty good guy that ran for them last night. So they didn't look bad.
No, they didn't. Pittsburgh just at home, they're pretty tough, and I think they're undefeated the last 20 games on Monday night.
I don't know what the statistics say, but I can tell you this: if you give up 2 touchdowns to the defense, you're probably going to lose.
You're probably going to lose. Yeah. The surprising team, I think, the biggest surprise this season to me is the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, they're 2-0, and I mean, if I had a last win this past Sunday against Green Bay, that's a big win for them.
So I will tell you that there was a lot of hype before the season started with the draft pick that they had with Bijan. Is it Robinson? I think that's right.
Bijan
So
Robinson.
I wasn't sure that the hype was going to be all it is. I watched his highlights from the last 2 weeks. He's probably broke 3 ankles from some people trying to tackle him, but he is a beast, and I think that as long as they can protect him, he's going to be pretty good, and I think they will continue to do well. And, yeah, they beat the Packers, who played really well before. Their kicker, Koo, kicked that winning field goal for them down at the end, and like you said, they're 2-0, and they're right up there with the Buccaneers and tied for that NFC South division.
Yeah. And they play at Detroit, so that'll be a tough game. Detroit's 1-1, so.
So Detroit, I felt like they lost a heartbreaker.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
they played hard. Golf played well. They came back. Detroit will be the favorite in this game. They'll be favored by 3. An unbelievable game to watch, but they really got their heart broke at the end. So I think this with the Falcons and Detroit will be a really tight game and a good one to watch.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. Next game is going to be the New Orleans Saints at the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, so that's a pick 'em right now. So it depends on who's home, who's away, whatever you want to figure it out. But it's really a toss-up. And the Saints are about a week away from getting Kamara back. Alvin Kamara will be coming off of suspension, I think, after next week. That will help them some. I don't think that they played really great. I did see their quarterback throw a couple interceptions that he should have ate and just taken his medicine. So it'll be interesting to see on that. But I will tell you that Green Bay needs to bounce back if they're going to be like they were that first game.
Yeah, I like Green Bay. I like Green Bay at home, so that'll be a good game, though. It depends what David Carr you get, too.
And that's what I'm saying. He made a couple bad decisions.
Yeah. Another surprise, I mean, Sean Payton was there and Russell Wilson, but they're 0-2, and the bad thing about it ain't getting no easier. They go to Miami.
Yeah, I don't see that turning out well for Denver. Again, I think Miami might be one of the better teams, or if not the best team in the AFC. They're going to be favored by 6 or 6.5, somewhere in that area. And I don't think that the Broncos have enough points in their pocket from the offensive side. I know Russell Wilson did not play well last year, and I know that they're working on some different things to make him a little more successful, but he's still not where he was at one point in his career.
No. We'll do this last game, Danny, and then we'll take a little small break because we do have another coach calling in at 1 o'clock, Coach Willie Byrne from Maiden High School. But last game is New England at New York Jets, and without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so I will tell you that the New England Patriots are going to be favored, but it'll be less than 3. It'll probably be 2.5. And you never know. That is a game that's a really rival game up there in the Northeast. They all like to get on each other, and that history is pretty stout. But it'll be a very physical game. I just don't know if either one of them have the big pow on offense to really dominate anything. So I think it'll be a defensive kind of game for that. So,
and it'll be pretty surprising. The New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, can go 0-3. I mean, start 0-3. Wow.
Yeah, he ain't got Brady. He ain't got a lot of things that he used to have. But I will say this: he does have probably the best safety in the NFL, and he's a Lenore Ryan graduate. I enjoy watching him.
Kyle Duggar.
Yep.
But we're going to take a quick small break, and we'll return on the flip side. Welcome back to Flip Sports Talk. We just got done discussing a couple NFL games, but right now we're going to go back to the high school, and we got an interview with Coach Willie Byrne out of Maiden High School. Danny?
Hey, Coach Byrne, we appreciate you being on the show today and taking the time to speak with us a little bit.
Oh, yeah, always.
Hey, Coach, a big win last week coming off a bye week, and I was telling a little earlier when we were talking about high school football, when I look over the horizon in the CVAC, there's a lot of big games out there, and it seems to me that every week is going to be a big game this season. And I will tell you, as far as conference play goes, this is a big game for the Blue Devils this week.
Yeah, like I said, every game's going to be big. So we call it the SEC of North Carolina High School.
I like it, SEC of NC.
Yeah, so, yeah, you got to come ready to play every week, especially when you're the defending champion.
Everybody wants a piece of that, right?
Yep.
So you last week your team played well. I saw the score on that. Anything you want to talk about that with regard to what went well and what you took from that?
Yeah, much improved, very well coached. The Eastburg team, they're massive up front. I had two really good backs. that could run. And unfortunately for them, we knocked one of them out late in the second quarter, mid-second quarter. But for the most part, I think we controlled the line of scrimmage, played a lot better on defense. We gave up a 92-yard run, busted play. Guy went the wrong way, and he was kick and run, cheat track guy. And then we gave them 2 short fields. We fumbled inside around the 20, and then they shanked a punt, and it hit one of our players, and they recovered it around the 30. But the defense played really good. Their defense is getting better. Besides that big long run, those 2 short fields. Other than that, defense played so much better, which is a great positive going into really good West Lincoln team. Offensively, we ran the ball just good enough, keep them honest. And Josh Stober had another great game throwing the ball, and he and Raheem Misher hooked up 7 times for like 145 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, throw us a couple names out from your offensive and defensive folks that stood out.
O-line wise, I mean, Landon Moss, Gerald Danner doing a great job, Trey Keller, Mac Adams went out with concussion at halftime, and freshman Baylor Duncan he's getting better every week. Those guys do a good job. And then D-line, Ethan Edwards did a great job. Basically plugging up C-gap. He demands double team every time, and he still makes plays when they do try to run at him. And let's see, Colin Jenkins had 11 tackles. Hampton Reed had a good game. Davin Williams played great defensively. Just a real.
Yeah, it sounds like it was an all-around effort on it, Coach, and I know that's what you're pulling at. And you mentioned defense a while ago and the improved play on defense. And earlier I was looking at the scoreboard from last week, and some of those teams who are sitting at the top of the CVAC and probably the folks that most people are looking at to finish, there's 3 or 4 of those teams that are hanging out. And I will tell you, all the teams really have the capability of popping up on any Friday night. But what we're seeing out there is we're seeing a lot of high-scoring football games, and last week was a good example of that. And the statement I made was that eventually somebody to win those big games will have to step up on defense. It might not be a 6-0 game, but they're going to have the ability down the stretch when it's on the line to stop somebody. So your defensive comment, how do you feel about that this week? I know West Lincoln's coming off of their big win last week, and they're a really running football game. How do you approach that?
It's tough to stop because, they're running wing T and they're running the option. So you're really playing against 2 different offenses. At least they have shown that they don't throw it very much, just like in the past. They don't really throw it much. So, going back to Watauga, Watauga runs basically 3 different offenses. So, not quite as tough a task. Not saying West Lincoln's not good or anything like that, but defending, the wing T, buck sweep, buck trap, midline, and then also them running the triple option and trying to get to the pitch phase and making sure we got somebody accounted for in all 3 phases of that. But Chris Henson, the defensive coordinator, is doing a great job. And, kids are starting to, run the same defense, just different terminology, a little few wrinkles here and there. But they just keep being coachable and making less mistakes each game. And, Friday night's going to be tough. We're going to have to be focused on, reading our key and playing our assignment because they got a good fullback, and they got Winnick's back, number 4 that played last year. He's their speed guy. So they're going to try to get to him on the perimeter and he gets loose, he can go.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, listen, we appreciate you taking time with us. I know it's middle of the week, and it's really you got other things going on, but we always appreciate you taking the time to speak with us on here, and we certainly wish you and the Blue Devils a good night on Friday night. I'm going to pass you off over here to Den. This is a much easier question, and I feel like I already know the answer.
Anytime.
Hey, Coach. Like Danny said, a whole lot easier. What's your go-to food at a ball game when you go to a ball game?
Game day food.
Probably a brat.
Brat. So Coach Glass said his was a hot dog. Maiden coach Will Byrne, it's a brat. I like a good brat.
Oh, yeah, you can't get no better than that. But, Coach Willie, I appreciate you giving us a call in, and I appreciate your time taking off. I know you in class and stuff, and I appreciate you. And good luck this Friday night.
Thank you, guys.
All right, man.
All right,
Appreciate
see you,
it.
Coach.
Have a good one.
Good luck. All right. Then you want to go with the NFL, or you want to take another quick break?
Let's take another quick break, and then
All
we'll
right.
come back to the NFL and finish it off.
All right. Sounds good. We'll be right back right after the break. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Let's usually do the quick picks. Sherrod, you want to join in on the quick picks? Welcome back. Welcome back to Flips Barbershop Sports Talk. Well, we're finishing it up with the NFL picks, and we got a guest pick'em right here, Sherrod, the barber. Next game, we're going to talk about Buffalo Bills at the Washington Commanders.
Ooh, Buffalo
Danny?
and Washington Commanders. I will tell you that we've been sitting here talking about the Commanders. They are playing better, and I think that they've shown some strengths in certain positions. But I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. They're favored by 6.5.
Sherrod, who you got in that one?
Hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to go with the Commanders. Like, they're kind of hot right now, and Josh Allen is prone to give it away.
Yeah, he's gave it away a few times early in the season.
He looked good this past Sunday.
He bounced
so
back. I would say.
I think I'm taking the Buffalo Bills on this one.
All right.
Okay. All right. Next game, Houston at Jacksonville. Danny.
Houston and Jacksonville. I think Houston has struggled tremendously so far. I think that Jacksonville is going to be better than what they are now, but they're really not playing bad right now. I'm definitely going to go with Jacksonville and the Jaguars.
Sherrod?
I'm gonna have to agree with them, the Jaguars.
Yeah, I am too. That's gonna be a sweep. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, so I didn't want to tell you all this, but they're like 10-point favorites. The Jacksonville
Jaguars.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Next game, Indianapolis Colts at the Baltimore Ravens. Danny.
So before I say that, one of your buddies sent me a text, told me to tell you that it's Fly Ravens Fly. I'm gonna let you know who said that, but I think that I'm also going to have to go with the Ravens. I know that there's a few touchy injuries out there as well, but I will tell you that before he got hurt the other day in the football game, I thought that Richardson looked extremely well at the quarterback position, had 2 touchdowns early, and was looking good, but I don't know how he'll be this week. But either way, I would say the Ravens.
Yeah, they say he got a concussion. So, Sherrod, who you got in that one?
I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens.
All right. Sweep on that one also. All right, next one. I guess, could the Panthers go 0-3? Carolina at Seattle, Danny.
So I think they absolutely can go 0-3 and maybe more. But I definitely think that they got a chance. I mean, Seattle's one of them teams right now. I don't know who they are. One week they look bad. One week they look okay. I don't know. But I think that the Panthers could go 0-3, and I'm going to stay with Seattle.
Yep. All right. And Sherrod?
I'm gonna have to agree. I mean, the game's played on the field, but the Panthers not looking too well.
Yeah. Next game, we got Wow, this is could be ugly. Chicago Bears at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Did you say could be ugly?
Yeah.
It could be ugly. Listen, this thing is going to be really ugly, and I'm afraid to even look and see what the spread is. But yeah, I don't see anything good happening from there. But I will tell you that the spread is already 13 in it.
I'm about to say at least it's got to be at least 2 touchdowns.
That ain't enough for me to take them.
No, Sherrod?
Chiefs all day.
Chiefs all day. Poor Luke Bohemian.
Yeah, he's
buddy. We thinking about you.
Yep. Well, if he had to lose, unless he lost to the Bucks.
Yeah. Dallas Cowboys at the Arizona Cardinals.
I told you earlier, I don't like to admit it, and I'm not a fan, but I think right now they are the best team in the NFL. Dallas Cowboys.
I'm sure you and 500,000 people think that right now.
I'm not saying that I like it. They like it, and they say it before. I'm just not that.
They'll let you know it. They'll let you know it.
Yeah. They're not shy about it.
Sherrod?
I'm going to have to disagree that they're the best team in the league right now.
That's okay.
But I will agree that they'll get this game.
Yeah, I think so too. Dan?
Yep. Yeah, I got
12
as
points.
bad as I hate to
point
say
favorite.
it. Yeah, Dallas. Their defense. Micah Parsons now. He's the real deal. But yeah, that would be a clean sweep on that one. This will be a good game. It's a Sunday night game. Pittsburgh at Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, so Pittsburgh played pretty good the other day, but for me it was more defensively than it was offensively. But I will tell you it's a 1-point game, and I'm actually going to stick with Pittsburgh on that because I still think the Raiders haven't got all their stuff figured out.
Sherrod?
Pittsburgh defense wins.
Yeah, but I tell you what, something Pittsburgh don't play as good as on the road, so I think I'm gonna ride with the Raiders on this one. 2 Monday night games again, back-to-back Monday nights. But the first game, obviously, is Fly Eagles Fly against Danny's Buccaneers.
Hey, listen, I will tell you, I was just encouraged when I looked at the point spread. It wasn't as much as I thought it would be.
What is it?
5. So
us 5?
Eagles are favored by 5.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's 1 pick 6, and we got this.
Yeah. Sherrod?
Hate to say it, but the Eagles are gonna send the Buccaneers packing.
All right. I like that.
Two to
But I'll
one
be
on
honest
that.
with you, it's a good surprise if they don't.
I tell you what, the last game of the night will be a good one. Los Angeles Rams at Cincinnati. Could they have? Is it without Joe Burrow? Is he playing?
So he's got a sore calf. I don't know, but they hadn't shown me a whole lot yet. And for me, especially in the passing game, I think the Rams are going to dominate the clock. I think they're going to run the ball, and they're going to stick it down people's throat. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Sherrod, who you got in that one?
I'm gonna have to agree with the Rams.
All right. Well, that's
Whoa,
all.
who you picking on now?
Oh, I like. Well, if it's Joe Burrow's there, I'm taking
I got
Cincinnati.
We got a couple of comments online.
All right,
All
what's some
right.
comments?
What we got, Pat?
All right, we got Will Vaughn.
All right, Von
All right.
Wilfong. The
Don't-
NC State Wolfpack guy.
Yeah, he's got a couple of comments here. He said, "Don't worry about them boys. They will pull their usual late season breakdown."
I agree, Vaughn. I agree.
So Von's a big Steelers fan. He's probably in a better mood
And he
this
mentioned
week.
something about the
Yeah.
Steelers. He said Steelers getting D on track,
That's right.
and he said if the zero picks up, watch out.
Hey, I like it. You know, Von's like the Steelers. He likes a big D.
All right, and I got one from Justin Spencer.
Here comes the Cowboys stuff
He said,
right
"Von Wilfong, don't get too excited. You play the Browns."
Hey, them
And,
Spencer boys, they're ruthless now. They'll cut you deep.
Yeah, so he had another comment on here. I couldn't get to it. I would really like to get to it. It's not coming up, but he was saying something about our Eagles. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
okay.
Did you say our Eagle? You ain't the
Oh
Eagles
yeah,
guy
Pat. Yeah,
too,
Pat.
man.
Pat,
Come
from,
on,
Pat from there, so Pat.
yeah, from Philly, man.
Yeah.
I gotta represent.
Hey,
you know,
y'all do know
Philly
the
jersey.
Eagles have fleas, right?
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that, Strong.
Yeah,
but
you know,
no.
them fans is a little crazy too. So
Yeah,
that's right.
We you know.
Hey, should be some good games. It'll be interesting to watch. It's always a good day. I know there's been several injuries. You know, you never know how that changes the course for a team. And again, Chubb going out last night. Several things. You're a play away every week, and I know that this will be some big games this week, and I'm ready to do it. We didn't get to talk a lot about college football, but I will tell you that all the hype, everything, everywhere I go, it's Colorado, the Buffaloes. I hear this, I hear that, and they've earned it. So let's just be clear about that. They've been impressive.
And we will talk about it next week. Big game this Saturday night is Ohio State at the Irish.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since that game was there. I think it's at Ohio State this year. I think that's right.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely be tuning into that game. I'm a big Irish fan too, but there was a lot of good things going on in college football. I did see where Alabama's like up to 14th, ranked 12th or 14th, something. It's been a while. Been a long time since they were out of the top 10. So the landscape of college football is really changing up a little bit.
But once again, Danny, it was a great show today, and thanks again to Depot Deli. I can't wait to at least, hey, it's 4 of us. We're going to have to split these sandwiches, but.
Yeah, I'm going to give y'all the chips.
I can't. But the smell is great. And once again, thank you, Depot Deli. Pito, thank you for stopping by and talking to us about it. And also, any local businesses are welcome. Look at our own Flips Barbershop Facebook page, and also Pat got a little bit of information right here to give you.
Well, yeah,
Pat?
we'll be putting out some more information. Just look out for us. We just going to try to make it a lot easier for our advertisers.
Yep,
to
just click a button and we can hook you up.
And we can hook you up. So follow us on our Facebook page. Follow us on. Another thing is we are now on Instagram.
That's what I'm talking
All right,
about.
so follow us
We
on
the
Instagram.
gram.
We on the gram. So we getting ready to build this thing up. We want to get this program out to everybody, and we really appreciate you guys.
All right, we'll catch you next week. Hey, we appreciate everybody listening, and good luck to your teams this week. Be safe. Peace out.